So we did talk edge rushers last time, but we do have, of course, our Mike and Will linebackers here. So in the starting position, Jayshawn Barham and Ernest Hausman. So Jayshawn Barham, as we know, has been turning heads. He comes from Maryland. Last year, he had 37 tackles, 3 sacks, a pick, and this isn't Maryland. This isn't at like a Georgia type program. This is at Maryland, and he made it. He was one of the people that made things a little interesting for Michigan and other teams in tough spots last year. So Jayshawn Barham coming to Michigan, as TJ mentioned earlier, seems to be lighting it up in camp. And Ernest Hausman, like I said before, was basically de facto like 1B starter last year with the amount of times he was in the game. So any additional color on these two, and especially Jayshawn Barham's ability, like impact in that position?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Jayshawn Barham was Pro Football Focus's number 1 ranked linebacker last year, and we have added him to the defense. Ernest Hausman was one of the highest rated freshmen who played when we got him from Nebraska. These are now your 2 new starting linebackers for this defense. We have now, and it is believed, and we had a championship level defense last year, a national championship caliber defense. It is believed, and a linebacker went in the 3rd round in Junior Colson, and another linebacker, Michael Baird, who also went to the NFL. It is believed that we are upgrading this position. This is not hyperbole. These are better athletes. They are more explosive. They're physical as hell. We have 2 missiles at the linebacker position. And again, all accounts out of camp is these dudes are balling. They're just straight up balling right now. And as crazy as it is, we may have upgraded at the linebacker position. So, talk about the transfer portal now, because I mean, these are 2 guys we got from the transfer portal. These are 2 guys that Michigan identified, they plucked, and we got them. So they're going to be leading the defense at the linebacker position. This is another area where I'm just excited as hell to watch on Saturdays, man. This is going to be epic. It should be epic. As long as it all, translates to the field, we should be in for a hell of a show at the linebacker position.
So, and Barham, I'm thinking that he probably got double teamed. He was the focus a lot on the when he played for Maryland. So, do you think he's going to be freed up to do his thing?
Well, they also, at Maryland, they had him drop back in coverage a lot, right? So, I mean, look, I have zero concern. Listen, here's what they're going to do with Jayshawn Barham. So he is going to drop back at times. He is going to play the run, but they're also going to blitz him. They're also going to put him in the Sam position. They're going to have him rush because he gained a little bit of weight. I think he's up to like I want to say 48. I could be wrong. He's up to like 240 something. He's going to be a Swiss Army knife at the linebacker position. He's going to be in coverage. He's athletic enough to be in coverage, which he graded very well by Pro Football Focus. He's going to stop the run. Yeah, he's 100% going to blitz the quarterback. He's an athletic freak. This is another athletic freak. So, and then Ernest Hausman is just going to do the typical linebacker duty, see ball, get ball, sideline to sideline guy. Just 2 monsters at the position.
I like to see pockets collapse and sacks or interceptions as results of that. Maybe a scoop and score here and there. So
yeah, well, I mean, listen, when you have defensive tackles like we do, they're going to handle their responsibilities and free up the linebackers to make plays, right? So that's one thing Michigan's very fundamentally sound at doing, is allowing their defensive tackles to eat up blocks, and then the linebackers are able to play their position and make the plays happen. So it's a great defense for a linebacker. It's the Baltimore Ravens scheme. They know the linebackers, the lineage of linebackers who have come from that scheme. That is why players of this caliber want to come play for Michigan at the linebacker position.
Yeah.
So it seems like things are in a good place from a starter, but then we get to who is the number 3, as Hausman was last year. And, as of end of July, it seemed like Jimmy Rolder could be in that position, but there's been some smoke about Cole Sullivan. So is it still kind of Rolder at the number 3 and Sullivan kind of gets in there, and rotates in. Are there any other of these depth people to keep an eye on as well?
Well, first thing I'll say is Mason Curtis is now playing defensive back. They moved him to safety, so he's no longer in the linebacker position. But the names to know for depth at the linebacker position is Jimmy Reuter and Cole Sullivan. Those are the two names. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of Jaden Hood because he played also last year. But the names that are sticking out is we know Jimmy Reuter. We all know Jimmy Reuter can play, and he's looked very promising in his time on the field. The key for him is, can he stay healthy? Because if he can stay healthy, he's another extremely good athlete at the linebacker position. So we'll see what he can do there. It really comes down to health for him. But Cole Sullivan is like, you don't even need words. It's Cole Sullivan. Cole Sullivan's a monster. He's going to be a name. Like, this is, we're talking about TJ Guy, we're talking about Zeke Berry, Cole Sullivan, and it may be his freshman year. That's the thing too. See, look, he's going to be a freshman, so like, there's got to be a little cautious optimism here. But he very well could be one of those players who make an impact their freshman year, because he's another name. And I mentioned this earlier in the show. What are the names that Sharon Moore said could have an impact this year? Cole Sullivan was another one. He's another one that's been playing well in camp. So we'll see. We'll see what transpires in terms of his his amount of time, his reps on field, how he performs. Again, like, it does. Here's the thing, though. Here's some truth. Like, it can look one way in camp, but when it becomes live action on Saturday, you're going to find out the truth, right? So that's what it comes down to. I'm excited to see Cole Sullivan. I think it's definitely going to be a name. It already is a name. It's already a fan favorite. So it's a name we're going to be watching all year.
All right. The one name you didn't mention, account 22 did, was Hewlett.
Yeah. I don't have like any update on him in terms of camp. It's just, I don't have any updates.
Yeah.
There's
problem.
been no word of him coming out of camp.
Yeah. Just curious, because who's going to be on the depth chart? He was a name mentioned before. So, okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. And somebody who isn't in this defensive discussion at all, but somebody who Tom Bouchard likes to mention. So he'll take his super chat, and then we'll get to X Factor and Sleeper and bold prediction. But the $5 from Tom Bouchard, big fan of Bredesen, uses used motor oil for salad dressing. So I think he might be the president of the Max Bredesen fan club. We're getting our fan club leaders of each player here at the Voice of College Football. So thanks for the 5 there.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a whole series of these with Max Bredesen now. So
yeah, somebody
Tom,
even said
Bredesen
for Heisman in chat at some point. So I love the energy on that, and I hope he does great things too. By the way, I think he's an awesome player, and I hope he gets his flowers. Okay, so from a X Factor Sleeper bold prediction, who do we think is really going to have that impact in 2024? TJ, we'll start with you.
The X Factor is Jay-Sean Barham. He's going to be the X Factor of this linebacker position. He's going to be that guy that impacts games, and offenses are going to have to scheme around him. My sleeper is Cole Sullivan. I think we're going to have pretty similar predictions here. Cole Sullivan is the name to be on the lookout for. A lot of hype around this player. And then my bold prediction is Michigan will have 2 all Big Ten linebackers starting for its defense this year. Did I take yours, John? I don't know. I saw you.
No, that's a good one.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it's hard to argue with Barham, so let's go with that. Sleeper Jaden Hood is what I'll go with. He does have experience. I'll go that way. Bold prediction. I mean, it's really hard to say that we're gonna. We lost so much production to the NFL, even high round draft picks all across. We lost Junior Colson, right? So, are we going to be better? Yeah. It's a bold prediction, so I'll say yes. Yes, we are going to be better. I mean, I think you already mentioned that we're going to be better in the linebacker position in 2024 than we were in 2023. So let's see what happens.
You want to talk about bold prediction? There it is. You did not disappoint, Ferris.
Yeah. What was that? Michael Barrett. I mean, I'm just looking at the list here. Michael Barrett, Harrell,
Junior Colson.
Josh Waller. I mean,
yeah,
just kind of looking through. Oh no, that's a cornerback, right? So, Junior Colson. Yeah, that's a lot that we lost.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But hey, if it happens,
you know, the defense all works together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Grant and Graham are doing their thing, Josiah Stewart's doing his thing. Yeah, I mean the holes will open up. Let's see what happens. So,
well, you've got a commenter who agrees with you. So thanks to Sabri Garland for stopping by and saying we're better at linebacker this year, and that is a high bar. But hey, this is a talented group, and it's anything is possible with Michigan's defense and Wink Martindale. So. For me, I'm going to also pick Jay Sean at X Factor. And my sleeper and bold prediction are both Cole Sullivan. I think he's going to come in and even though he might not be at the 3 as of game 1, I think that by game 12, he's going to be in the 3. And I think he's going to be rotating in as Ernest Hausman did last year. And I think he's headed for a major starting role in the team in future. So that might not be super bold, but there you go. Okay. Real